Thales is proud to partner with Siemens on a very unique product for Siemens. This is called the ArtPixEZ2GO. Basically, the design of this product is meant to be able to retrofit any room or any mobile unit very easily to go with a DR or wireless detector using just a detector and this tablet. I'm going to go into the workflow of the tablet shortly, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the features. The system is designed to be able to be installed and brought up to a running capacity in a very short amount of time. And that's the beauty of this product. There's no integration, there's no wiring, there's nothing that needs to be done. Just we're going to be working with the hospital networks, and basically we'll be getting the detector and the system ready for use. We're going to talk a little bit about the workflow of the tablet and the software so that your customer can understand the ease of use of this product. As you can see, the user interface is very simple. Right now we are on the registration screen for patient registration. The system would be integrated to be used with either wirelessly or through a LAN cable and talk to the hospital network, which would allow us to pull up the patient work list, which is what you see on this page. It also allows us to send images to the PACS through a wireless or wired connection. I'm going to choose a patient right now that would have multiple exams. It's a one-touch feature. And at this point in time, if you get the green icon, the horseshoe icon, that basically states the detector is in the ready state. We can go ahead and acquire an image. And at that point in time, you would take the X-ray with the X-ray generator. The image would show up this quick. And basically, if you've done everything correctly, you should be able to accept this image. And you can move on to the next position for the patient. You can choose different positions that you'd like. And then you go ahead and acquire the image with the X-ray machine. And basically, once again, you have another image that's ready to go. If you would like to reject an image, you can do so by pressing this reject button. There are different menus that you can use for the reasons for the reject. These are customizable, and we can create our own based on the hospital the hospital system and what they use. I'm going to choose one right now, and you would touch OK. And that is going to basically, for that user, it's going to give a reject reason, and it's going to actually have the rejected images show up under the username that is chosen. When you're done with the imaging cycle, you can go ahead and select all the images, and you would then send them to PACS. If you were hooked up to a PACS, you would go ahead and send them to PACS via the Save button. If you wish to run a reject analysis on the system by a user, some users can have permissions to do this. You might have a super user do this or an administrator do this, and you can give permissions for this. You would push on this button right here, and you would go ahead and run a reject analysis report. You can filter how the report looks and what is on the report. And I'm going to go ahead and capture the report for today. You can see that the report has multiple pages. We have basically the reject analysis done by percentages, by body parts, by positions, by technologists, and then eventually we can get to a individual image screen that shows the image itself, what it was, and gives all the details around the reject and why it happened and on which patient and which user. You can then capture the report, and you could actually export it to a USB. So if you had a patient arrive in the emergency room, for instance, and the patient, you don't know their name, you don't know any information on them, but you need to take the exam, get the exam completed, you can use the urgent button, and basically what this will do is it'll take the tablet to a state where we can take x-rays. We would move through the exam button, which was blinking on the last screen, and then you can choose which body parts you want to use. And in this case, I'm going to choose a few. It places them on the screen, and here on the blinking registration button, we push that. And what that will do is I just basically chose 2 exams, which are shown here. You can toggle back and forth between exams, and you can take images on each one of those exams. The detector communicates with the tablet. The tablet will actually filter the exams correctly so that they go to PACS and they're in the right folders or in the right exam folders. So this would be how you would work with a urgent patient in that sense. You can go in and you can modify the patient details at the end of the exam if you need to here in the system. Some people choose to do it in the PACS system. Either way is fine. You could use a barcode reader, and actually we have a barcoding device in the tablet, and if you go to the barcode button here, you can actually, if you had a barcode, you could actually put it in front of this camera here, and it will actually read it, and it usually uses the patient ID, which is called a civil ID. And once it captures it, then it will register that ID, and then you can go ahead and register the patient. You usually fill in the rest of the information. There's another way to do the registration if you have no information, or if you have information, but the network is down, and so you can't use the network. If you have the patient's information, you can also use new patient. And I won't go through this since I don't have a keyboard on this system, but basically you can type in the patient's demographics and utilize this page right here to fill in the patient information that you need. And at that point in time, you would register the patient. Okay, first of all, we can connect up to 10 detectors at this point in time with the tablet. Each of these detectors would be initially calibrated with the tablet, and they would be associated with the tablet, just very much like you would associate a Bluetooth phone with your car. Once that information is in the tablet, we would basically go to this drop-down menu here, and as you can see, we have quite a few detectors loaded into here. All you do is choose the detector that you would wish to use, and each one of these detector icons has actually a colored number on it. So we could actually put a sticker on each detector and give it a different color so you know which detector that you're choosing. And you just basically push one of those and it just flips over to that detector and you're ready to go. One of the nice features too is that we support the MAX detector, and you could actually swap the MAX detector and use it with this tablet if you need to. And that is one of the new features that we have ready for Siemens.